Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today. It is the first of the month, which means we are doing our Stamp Around UK video hop this evening, and our theme is new annual catalogue inspiration. So the catalogue's been out since the 4th of May, so there's been lots of activity with new catalogue products and things. So a lot of the things you'll see today probably have been used before, but I'm using this set today called Expressions in Ink, and this is the first time I've actually played with this particular set. It's been very, very popular all over YouTube and Instagram and stuff, so the likelihood is that you have seen a lot of use already with these. The cards I'm doing today are just being kept very, very simple, using the gorgeous designer series paper, simple sentiments and the die cuts. Okay, I just want to quickly take you to the catalogue. So if you've got an annual catalogue, you'll go to the suite is actually pictured on page 96 and 97. Oh, I can't get all of that in, can I? Oh yeah, just about. So it is a suite of products, so it is £70 to get everything that coordinates as a suite, but obviously all the particular elements are available separately should you wish to do that. We've got the stamp set, and the dies are available as a bundle, of course, so you can buy those on their own. These are the dies, lovely detailed one that we're using today, some that will cut out the stamped image, and we've got this beautiful big sort of leaf here, which they've used in this particular sample in the catalogue for the this sort of wreath thing that they've done. So a really, really super set, and we've got some really nice sentiments as well. So here's the actual stamp set. This wonderful sort of watercolour look to the images, a nice bold happy birthday, thanks, hello, and then a nice little best wishes, and they've got some little ditties to scatter about the place and add some interest as well. So really, really lovely. It is a cling mount set, and then we've got some fabulous designer series paper, which you can sort of see here, and we've got these gold ephemera pieces with some sequins. Okay, so this is the gold ephemera, so I don't want to flash this too much, but it's just sheets of gold die cuts. There's 6 of the sheets in there, and then you get a sheet of these iridescent self-adhesive sequins, and they just sort of take on the colour of the paper, which is really cool too. So we'll leave those out to use. Okay, just so that you can see the designer series paper a little bit more closely. I've cut all mine up, you see, I don't have any full sheets to show you. But we've got a really, really super palette of colours. Now that's illustrated here. So we've got polished pink, pale papaya, pepper pizzazz, just jade, shady spruce, even evergreen. I think on the package it also says that there is some magenta madness in there, and some mint macaron too. So there we go. All these sort of watercolour, alcohol ink style papers, and it is a speciality pack, which means there is foiling as well. So like I said, I haven't got full sheets, but I can at least show you some of the portions here. In fact, let me get you the that's right, I've cut it into 6x6 portions. So there's a beautiful gold stripe. We've got the wonderful watercoloured sort of alcohol ink florals. Got some foiling on this one as well, and this one. So those two are quite similar, but we've got the foiling on this one. The pale papaya, I would say that was probably predominantly pear pizzazz. I'd say this was just jade and mint macaron. These ones are beautiful. I love the fact we've got some white in there. really breaks up the pattern. It's a wonderful sort of marbled foil on there with the pear pizzazz, mint macaron, just jade, and I would say some shaded spruce in there too. Magenta Madness, shaded spruce, more of the same of those greens. Not so much of the mint macaron, I would say. I think it's probably predominantly pear pizzazz and shaded spruce on this one. Then we've got the papaya and the polished pink on this one. So they are totally stunning papers. So I've already chopped up the entirety of my pack, and as I say, I've used these sort of inky ones to do my cards today, very simply, just with the die cuts. Okay, so we're going to make another couple. Might as well do two at the same time, just to show you how I went about doing that. The pieces of paper I'm using are these two, so those two didn't have any of the foiling on, but these two do. Okay, aren't they lovely? Just think they're just stunning. You can stamp straight on top of this as well. Of course, I think this would be good with the Biggest Wish stamp set as well. Just stamped very boldly but simply onto the paper. So totally stunning, very flexible papers to work with. Okay, so those are the two we're using. I have already die cut ahead of time these two die cuts to go on top. They cut really nicely. They're just a little wider than the mini Stampin' Cut platforms, so you probably do need to try and get them through one of the larger machines if you can. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I'm going to stick those down. We're going to bring in some of the gold elements that we were using before. So we've got to be they did come with tissue in between, and me being silly, I just thought, oh no, I'll just get rid of that. No, I'm wishing I'd kept it now. So I've got lots of different elements to play with, a bit of foliage and these lovely sort of hexagonal bits, six-sided shapes that we can use too. So they're really cool, aren't they? Might pop out these ones, so you want to go careful and just tease those out of the carrier sheet, just really gently. Okay, and there's, like I say, there's 6 sheets of those, so you're going to be using them for a while, and we're just going to pick apart the little inside pieces there. So it doesn't take a moment, just want to be just real careful as you go round. They are really delicate pieces, so it may not be to everyone's cup of tea, this kind of thing, as it is quite delicate. Okay, so you just need just a bit of patience just to go around those little pieces there. Now, I'm sure some people will be using these little innies for things. I'm not going to. So I just want to just tease that out slightly. Just want to hold on to the actual die cut and then pull it away. And it just takes a few moments to do. Okay, and then we've got, that's like a whole hexagon. No, the hexagon might be useful. I might hold on to the hexagon. Okay, so we've got a couple of those little gold elements teaseled out of that. Okay, now I'm going to use a silicone craft sheet to do my gluing. Now, can you see how, yeah, there, so it's all shining on there. That's dried, well, it's almost dried glue, it's gone all tacky. But these silicone craft sheets are brilliant because look, it's just gonna wipe off like that. You can do it with your finger cloth, whatever, under the sink, and you can just wipe away the glue, and it's not going to get all over your work surface and over your other projects. And then I've got this high-tech tool, which is a quarter of a stamping sponge. You could use a half, I guess, if you've got them, and a trusty clothes peg, which I'm going to use for applying the glue to my die cuts. Okay, so all we're going to do is put a blob of that in the corner there so that we can do that. And we've got one of these and one of these, so we'll do each of them as we go around. So I'm going to sort of spread that over my sponge, just pounce up and down on there, and then we can just hold on to our die cut with a couple of spare fingers, and we can just dab that over the back. So this is going to give you a really nice fine coating of glue over the back of your die cut. And it's not going to squidge out. That's another advantage to doing it this way, because there's probably no way on earth you'd probably get your glue in the right place if you were doing it any other way. So we're going to add our little hexagonal element first. Let's go this way with this one. Let's put it up here. So just let it twing back on itself, and that's really nice and well stuck down now. Now I don't think you'd be able to do that if you were just using wet adhesive on its own, or a tape runner or anything like that. So that's my way, at least, of making sure that you get your glue on the back of these die cuts. And same with this one. So I've got plenty of time just to make sure that's in the position that I want it in. The very edges may not have caught some of the glue, but it's fine. Okay, so that is in place, and we can cut off the excess when we're ready to mount that up, and that's all nice and flat. Okay, the alternative for the die cut would be to die cut using the sticky sheets and peeling that off the back. So that's another alternative as well for the actual ones that go through the machine, the die cuts. Whereas the gold ephemera stuff, you won't have that option, of course. Okay, and we're going to do the same with the other one. Okay, so we're just going to repeat the process. So if you're quick, you can get a couple of goes with your blobs of glue, or you can just do it in 2 smaller batches. So it does dry quite quickly, so it's already going quite tacky, but it'll be fine for this purpose. And so if you've got your stuff planned out, you know exactly where stuff's going to go, even better. And so this sponge, I'm not going to rinse it out or anything. It is specifically for the glue technique, so I'm just going to let it dry and do its thing. And we're going to put, I think we'll put this one this way around. So again, just let it just ding back. If you've got any glue on the front of there, because the mat will have had glue on it already, it may have come over onto your die cut, you can just rub it off. I feel like that element's actually quite lost, actually, so probably wasn't a great addition to this particular design, but it's on there now, so we'll just go with it. I think we'll put that one there. you could use some scrap paper and just rub over the top. Just make sure that's all down. Okay, and there we have it, nice stuck down pieces of paper, and we can just leave this to one side, let it dry, and just clean it up, ready for when we next need to use that. Okay, so we're going to have to just trim off the edges of our die cuts. So I'm just going to bring in a pair of scissors and just go along the edge of the paper, just like that. Just bear in mind some of those might be a bit sticky, so you don't want them to land where you don't want them. Same with this one. So for my original samples, I kind of let them dry a little bit before I started doing this, but obviously on camera I want to get this done. Okay, and so these are my sticky scissors. Don't use my good paper snips for that kind of thing, so we can move that to one side too. We've got our card fronts, which we can apply to our card bases. It's almost a shame to put glue over the top of these other printed sides, but it is double-sided. We will get to use the other sides in different projects. So just I find 3 strips of tape is more than sufficient to get those down. So just using my white card bases that I prep from our thick basic white cardstock. Just make sure our bottom corners are in place. Somebody said, "Oh, you always get it right first time." No, I don't. There we go. So that's down. We can get that folded and burnished. Okay. But I do find that if you use, well, I find this method is best for me. Just looking at those 3 edges first, provided you've cut everything straight, which is always a possibility if it's not quite straight. Then the top border here should be just fine. So there we go. 2 card bases, easy peasy. And just look stunning, don't they? Just with the paper and everything. So we just want to add our sentiment to those. So we'll just put those to one side, and I didn't bring out any scrap card, so let's just rummage through the scrap bin I've got here. Oh, that looks like a good candidate. Just got a little plastic box that I put all my little scraps in. I'm going to stick with the happy birthday, which are already mounted onto the block, kind of straight, I think. I'm going to bring in Magenta Madness, and I think we'll do just Jade on the other one. Okay, so we'll get those done. I've got a stamp chamois just off camera to the left here. My very well loved stamp chamois. Look at the colour in it. But it's really, really good tool for getting your ink off your stamps, getting them nice and clean. So I'm just lining that up on the edge of this strip of cardstock, about there. Give that a clean on that chamois. See, it's all nice and pristine. Just it's damp with a couple of spritz of what do they call this cleaner, Stampin' Mist. Stampin' Mist, yeah. Okay, but it's mostly water. I just put a little bit of that on just to help condition the stamps. Just jade. So we'll pop that down there. It's such a beautiful green, as you know. Beautiful green. So both of those are in colours, by the way, from last year. So let's put those away, and we're going to use the trimmer. A wonderful trimmer. I love this thing. It's just so easy to use. So I've lined up the stamp, and I know that that is approximately straight. Not too bad actually. And because this arm here is clear, I can actually line up my text in there, and I can see that the border is how big the border is, so I can shuffle it across and do something similar on the other side, because that's symmetrical. So if I do that, I should end up with a nice even border top and bottom. So let me show you that again. So I'm going to close it down with the card lined up where it would cut, and if I look through this plastic here, I can see it's lined up with this particular portion here, which is mirrored on this side of the trimmer. So if I shuffle it along so that the top of that text is lined up in that place too, which is there, you should end up with an equal border either side of your text. Okay, it's probably much easier to see in real life, if I'm honest. While we're here, I'm going to just lop off the end of that. So again, just sort of looking through and eyeballing where I want that to line up. So I've just kind of put it about there, just so that it's a straight edge to put against my card. You could do both ends if you want to. I'm not going to. You could then punch these ends with anything, any old punch, whatever you like. I'm just going to cut them at an angle. Gives you some interest without being technical. Very, very easy to do. And then I'm going to apply some dimensional adhesive to this, but what I'm doing is using some of the edge strips that have been left over from my sheets, so I just keep them to one side, and actually these longer ones are going to be perfect. There you go, perfect. So don't throw away your edge strips on your dimensionals, basically. So there's those. We can add them to the cards, and we're almost done. So now you've got a decision on where you want this to go. I'm going to go there. That was just based on how much do I want to cover up of what, really, just so that I'm not obliterating some of the detail that I want to make sure is showing. I'm going to go there with this one. Okay, and the final thing to add is the little sequins from that ephemera pack. So remember that the rule of threes, or odd numbers even, always look good from a design point of view. So we're generally aiming to draw the recipient or recipient's eye into the design. Okay, and that generally means that we do a little bit of a triangle which sort of focuses them around, in this case, the sentiment. Now, not super sure these will show desperately well with all this very beautiful background that we've got on here, but it's the little details that really make a difference to a card, and you'd be surprised how much they get noticed when people just just sort of pick it up. Okay, so I've got those lovely sequins just flashing there, and they sort of they're a bit of a chameleon, if you like. So that one really looks very pink on the background. Okay, and then if you turn them in the right light, they have flashes of green and yellow in them as well. So they're really cute. They're really nice little additions to the card. I like sort of neutrally things which will work with a number of projects. So there's our original version there. I did 5 on this one just to sort of I felt like it needed the extra ones to pull it together because there was a lot of white space on this one. And there's my other pink one. So like I say, they're not difficult to achieve really pretty cards. I probably didn't say very well that this was the video hop for this month, which means that all the links to everybody's videos taking part this month is going to be in the description. I should have said that at the beginning, but I'm sure you know the drill about going through there. Done these a few months now. It's really great to be a part of this lovely video hub, and I'm certain that everyone will be using a vast array of stuff from the new catalogue. There'll be probably other people using this particular suite as well, so there'll be other ideas on how you can use it. Some really talented folks in there, so I hope you enjoy it. Do leave them some likes and some comments as well, because it all helps all of our YouTube channels to grow when we get interaction from our viewers. It's very much appreciated. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that then. Links to the products I've used will be in the description bar too, should you wish to purchase anything and you haven't got a demonstrator already. Thanks ever so much, everybody. I really hope you've enjoyed that. Do stay safe out there, won't you all? And ta-ta.